Well, guys, my plan is working. Remember a couple weeks ago, I came up with that amazing idea on how to promote GBAtemp.net to the masses, where I was going to, catch a bunch of Weedles in Pokemon Go, name them GBAtemp.net, throw them onto Pokemon Home, throw them in the Wonder Box, and send them out to randos. Well, it's worked. I've been doing that for the past many days, just trying to, help our dying website out because,
dying. I wouldn't say
it's just the three of us and then a couple thousand other active users a day. And I'm trying to get that number to a couple million, if not billion, users a day. Nobody's really helping me. I feel like I did a call to action the other day where I asked everybody to start catching Weedles, name them GBAtemp.net, but I don't know how many other people have done it because so far I'm the only one who is reportedly, and by reportedly, I mean I am currently reporting that I am receiving death threats from strangers.
What?
Because they're like, hey, I sent you something good and you sent me a Weedle named GBAtemp.net. And I'm like, but have you visited the website? And they're like, yes. It's amazing. It's now my favorite underground gaming community. They're like, is it forums? Is it news? And I'm like, bro, it's fucking both, man.
Wow.
And then, but that said, it's still a death threat because they're like, wow, I don't like unsolicited advertising. So, yeah, that's just my story.
So wait, hold on. You started that out by saying it's working. Was that your stated goal to get death threats?
I think so.
Okay. Just making sure.
Just cracked open a cold one with the boys.
Woo woo!
Woo woo! Celebrating the death threats with the boys.
Yeah, so the thing is, before this, I asked Alexander if he has a good intro, and that's what he came up with. The thing is about intros is that they need to tie in to the next topic. They need to connect to the next topic, kind of like a hardware mod connects to I don't fucking know.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of?
What?
So the Switch OLED just came out.
Really?
Yeah, and people are already reporting that from day one it is hackable with the hardware mod. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's actually, I can believe that, and at the same time, I can't believe that. It's very hard to, because I expected Nintendo to at least do something to circumvent like a hardware mod, like they did with their first Switch revision, but it seems like they just don't care. I mean, from what I collect, the Switch OLED proved me personally wrong. I expected it to have just a little bit of a better chip, just for the sake of it. But no, it's the same Marico chip as in the Switch Lite and as in the second revision of the main Switch. That's insane.
Yeah, so basically there's a chip out there called the HWFLY chip. It's basically a clone of the chip from SX Core that isn't being produced anymore because Team Executor is in jail. But people got their Switch OLEDs on day one and tested it, and it seems to work, though it might require some tweaking and fixing because it'll load into the Heckgate bootloader, but the touchscreen doesn't work at that point, which is obviously an issue. But it does seem like it's possible to hack the Switch. It's at least an entry point. Like, you can definitely get things rolling. I know Cyrus M or whatever his name is.
Cyrus M. We've covered this.
Cyrus M has also said that Atmosphere isn't working with it right now.
Oh.
I can't remember exactly. Fuck, I should have it here. Something to do with the battery or something.
Wow, that's interesting.
So I sound prepared and not like a fucking.
It doesn't sound like me.
So it sounds like a stupid shit. Battery configuration is currently not implemented, so Atmosphere will misconfigure battery on boot. So going by his Twitter, he hasn't mentioned that he has it fixed yet, but he's planning on looking into it and trying to get it fixed. He says he doesn't have a way to run code on an OLED himself, so he can't, it might take a little bit.
The thing about the fact that the OLED Switch still uses the same Marico chip, I was with you. I was a little confused as to why they wouldn't change it and make it at least a little harder for people to hack into it. However, I'm wondering how many people actually use the actual hardware mods to hack into their Switch. Would the amount of people who do that justify the complete, change of the chip in general. Because I know that for the old Switches, I mean, they're kind of easy to hack with just like, a paper clip and stuff like that. But with the patch switches, it does become kind of a tedious process. I wonder how many people, do that.
Yeah, I don't know, because you have to buy this chip from, I think they're a little bit harder to get a hold of. Maybe not hard, but like you got to buy them from weird areas, and then you got to, I don't know. I'm actually not super up on how using the chip to hack your Switch goes. Does it involve like soldering or anything? Or
yeah, I figured it's not super user friendly. I don't think that a bunch of kids are going to be able to do it like they could with the just the old Switches.
You know where you can find out about that kind of stuff? On gbatemp.net. That's right. The best independent gaming community. We're no longer the number one underground gaming community. No, we're the independent gaming community. For OGs, they know what I'm talking about.
We are independent, and we're going to stay independent, just like Raid Shadow Legends, baby. Our today's sponsor, Code Eric.
That's how sponsorship.
Boom. We are independent. We've been bought. We've been sold. We've been passed
We've
around.
Gone public. You can buy Tempcast stock. Join our IPO right now.
You can buy our Tempcast NFT
NFSFW
NFS cryptocurrencies. You can actually play our cryptocurrency game currently on Steam.
Actually, no, you can't, because Steam just outright banned all games that have anything to do with cryptocurrencies for some reason.
Even Tempcast crypto.
What if I had a cryptocurrency that mainly revolved around gay sex?
I don't know what that joke was. I don't know where you were going with that.
That's a very interesting question, Steven.
It's not.
Would that be allowed on Steam?
I don't know. Does Steam allow gay sex? I think it does. I think there are gay sex games on Steam.
Really? Because I'm going off the topic list where it says they're banned. Oh no. I did an Alexander.
Oh, yeah. I didn't. Yeah, you're pulling more of an Alexander than I am, because I didn't even read the topic list. I didn't know we were going to talk about that.
Steven, who's your favorite Nintendo character who's a plumber?
Mario.
Waluigi.
Is Waluigi a plumber?
I assume so.
Yeah, Wario and Waluigi are rival plumbers.
I don't think
they go through the pipes into Mario and Luigi's business, and they fuck up their plumbing. So then Mario and Luigi are spending all day trying to fix their own plumbing instead of their clients.
Well, that's like calling me like a software developer if I break my own PC. It doesn't make them plumbers if they fuck it up.
Sure it does. There's an art to it.
But yeah, Steam banned NFTs and cryptocurrency games for some reason. But should there even be a reason? Like, I think that's a good thing to do, because you're just inviting so many issues with that, with NFTs.
Well, what does a cryptocurrency game mean exactly? Is it a game where you can earn cryptocurrency inside of it is it a game where you exchange or trade or bet cryptocurrency?
The way that I heard it described is sort of like a pyramid scheme, where you pay money to get them, and then hope that they, appreciate in value or stuff like that.
That actually does kind of sound like a pyramid scheme now that I think about it. No, I think it's less to do that Gabe Newell got, I don't know, scammed with a crypto or something. I think it has more to do with there already being like a Steam marketplace, right? Where you can sell items and stuff.
Right, like the trading cards?
Yeah. And if your game has like its own cryptocurrency, that would mean that you could do transactions of items or currency or whatever in that game within that game.
Right.
And I think that's like something that no, Gaben doesn't want that. I think that's what's going on. But NFTs, probably the same exact thing, even more so, that NFTs are basically just like the same thing like cryptocurrency, but it's not a coin. It's like a GIF or an image or anything really can be an NFT. Just like the segue to the next topic, which is, I don't even know because we're not going.
Yeah, we went pretty out of order.
Yeah.
By the way, you do have to solder on the chip we were talking about earlier. I looked that up and didn't get a chance to say it before we moved on. So maybe they didn't bother to fix that hardware hack because who the fuck is buying a weird sketchy chip and then soldering it on? Not very many people.
Yeah, but you could get free Switch games.
I mean, it's a lot of trouble for free Switch games. I also wanted to say, Cyrus M, I keep forgetting his name, even though you told me, has also said that Cyrism has said that there's no evidence of another hardware revision that they're working on, because a lot of people still think that 4K Switch is coming based on other rumors.
Oh, it's coming, baby.
But there was indication of like dev kits or whatever somewhere in the code or firmware for about a year and a half, he said, before the Lite and the OLED both came out, and there's nothing like that. So
wow.
I just wanted to mention that quickly because people are still, I think, expecting on that.
So those 12 developers lied after all. Okay.
That's right. They were all liars.
But the thing is, somebody discovered this, that the Switch dock, the new one, and the Switch OLED has a Realtek chip that is capable of 4K.
Really?
Not upscaling, but outputting 4K stuff. But MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer, he made a video about it, and he basically said that the chances of Nintendo actually using this chip for 4K output are quite slim at this point. It's more so to do with the fact that there's a global chip shortage, and this one is just the most popular chip available. So that's why they used it.
Right.
Which says a lot about Nintendo being kind of outdated, where despite their efforts, they still need to put 4K somewhere there in the Switch, because nobody makes 1080p HDMI converters anymore.
But then they are like, no, but we're not going to use it.
Yeah, but the Tegra chip, from what MVG says, it is capable of outputting 4K, but it's probably not like gaming. Probably stuff like menus and stuff like on smart TVs, whatever.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
If only Nintendo would have released some kind of expansion to the Switch.
Well, they did release an expansion to their online services, or have at least announced and detailed it. We talked a little while ago about how they were going to be putting on N64 and Sega Genesis games on the Nintendo Switch Online service, but it wouldn't be included in the $20 a year package they have now. It would be a more expensive service, but they didn't have any hard details. Now they've announced they're going to be releasing a USB-C wireless N64 controller, which is pretty cool, and that the cost of getting access to streaming N64 games is going to be $50 a year, which is not as cool.
Yeah.
So for reference, like PS Plus and Xbox Live Gold are about $60 a year, where you get free games you can keep for the length of your subscription, usually between like 2 and 4 a month. And Nintendo is offering for nearly the same price a handful of N64 games you can stream, and that's it.
What is your opinion, Steven, on all of this?
I think I just made it clear with that comparison. Don't think I could have been any clearer.
But I want to know what you really think. Because I have strong thoughts about it, but I wanted to get everybody else's out before I started talking.
I think that since a cartridge copy of Mario 64 costs probably about $50, you're really just as good to pay to stream it online. And I think that this is a great deal if going by the market value of Nintendo 64 games.
Thank you. Alan John, your turn.
Okay, I think this is a great move by Nintendo to make fans more interested in the hacking scene. This is perfect. You could not make a better advertisement for GBA Temp. Let me tell you.
I was going to say, they're doing better than Eric is with his GBA Temp Weedle scheme.
Like,
They probably got all those Weedles in, and they were like, "Wow, we should really help direct people to that website."
People are gonna first. They got people talking about the N64 and N64 games. All right, so they created hype, and then they revealed the price, which is absurdly high for something as basic as that. Because mind you, nobody paid $50 a year for the Virtual Console on the Wii. And that had N64 games, I think.
It did. They were, I believe, $10 a game on the Virtual Console on the Wii and the Wii U.
I think most people would rather have some form of the Virtual Console rather than this Netflix Game Pass abomination thing. But yeah, people are going to get interested. Oh, N64 games. How they Google this, how to play N64 games on Switch. And what's the first thing you get? You get, I don't know, maybe a Kotaku article. But it mentions GBAtemp.net, and that's when people register on GBAtemp. They read some FAQs, they read some threads. They're like, oh, RetroArch. Oh, what's this? Oh, hard modding a GBA? I mean, a Nintendo Switch?
You got to install the SX core chip on your GBA. Really micro soldering at that point. GBA micro soldering. Sorry.
From now on, Googling how to play Nintendo 64 on your Switch will not, GBAtemp won't be towards the top because it's all going to be talking about Switch Online now. So they're hurting us. They're hurting us. We need more Weedles.
You Google how to play N64 games on Switch free.
Okay, but here's the thing. Because the way that things are worded, and I remember because I've gotten flack for this, if you're paying for Nintendo Switch Online, all of the games are free.
What?
Well, you got flack for saying that, so people aren't going to say that, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, news people say that. The people who are butthurt about it are the people on GBAtemp who want all their stuff for free. They're like, oh, I don't want to follow the live for it because then it's not free anymore.
Today, I saw the perfect comparison between the Virgin Twitter user and the Chad GBAtemp user. Well, Twitter's like, oh, this is bullshit. $50 for N64 games. Lower down the thread, they're like, yeah, but I'm totally going to pay for it because I want to play Banjo-Kazooie or whatever. But on GBAtemp, they're like, hey, RetroArch, hard modding, atmosphere. Yeah, that's paying for games.
When you go onto the Reddit or other places...
Can this entire conversation revolve around piracy this openly, where we're like, you're going to get free games, everyone?
Hey, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm just talking about the illegal activity.
I'm not pirating.
Okay, all right.
I'm going back to the terminology of the word free. You go to the Reddits, you go to a bunch of other places, and they're like, oh, hey, this one's free games on blah, 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 blah. And everyone's like, oh, I hate this, or oh, that's good, or blah, blah, blah. You do it on GBAtemp, they're like, free! Just...
Eric, I just want to say you've never sounded older than when you referred to Reddit as the Reddits.
Yeah, I did it.
You instantly aged 45 years in that moment.
I've actually seen Eric Xander's Reddit account, and it's pretty political. Let me tell you something. He used to be subscribed to a lot of subreddits that are now gone. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Look, that's why I'm named Mr. Woke on GBAtemp.net, pursuant to that one person. Wait, it wasn't him. I don't know why I said that just now. What else? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So I think that this is an amazing deal because I'm trying to think of a joke. No, it's not that great of a deal. I think that it should be $50 a month.
Really?
Yeah, genuinely.
So you think it is a great deal?
I think it is a great deal. I think that it should be $50 a month because you got to support the I don't know the names of the developers of Banjo-Kazooie, but I'm sure that they're doing well right now, and they need our support.
So if they're doing well, why would they need our support?
To finally give us Banjo-Kazooie 2. Electric Boogaloo. No, there's Banjo-Tooie. There's not Banjo-Kazooie 2.
What would be the difference?
The difference is it would be the sequel to Banjo-Kazooie. Now, I'm not asking for a sequel to Banjo-Tooie.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that.
I feel like the last Smash character should have been Conker.
Do you really think that? Do you really think it should have ended on Conker, not... What was the final fighter that you were not hyped for at all? Who was he?
The last fighter was a real dog shit pick. I already forgot who it was.
Were you really disappointed with that last pick, Eric?
I don't think we needed Byleth. I think we needed Conquer.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that.
That would have been pretty good, honestly, yeah.
Also, I was joking for those who don't know, when I was like, I don't know the developer of Banjo-Kazooie. It's Rare. I know people are going to be like, wow, Eric really isn't prepared. I was going to make a joke about how like Rare is like not a Nintendo thing. So it's like you get it.
Eric's like, I don't know who made Pokemon Go,
but I'm trying to figure out how to have them make Pokemon Go to the polls.
No, I was about to say Pokemon Go to gbatemp.net, the best independent gaming community. Support us on Brave. Support us on Patreon. We don't have a Patreon anymore. I forgot. Don't support us on Patreon.
Support us on the website through PayPal.
Support us on Raid Shadow Legends. Buy our Manscape. We all Manscape. You got to get that. Use code Eric. You should get
don't do that, by the way.
Display. As you can see, I got a metal display right behind me. It's beautiful. It
looks like a window.
It's got Sora, Luffy, and Link. They're all hanging out.
Nice. How did they get the copyright on that? That's insane.
You just have to use my code display.com/Eric, and you can get that poster for $25, $40.
You can also visit lootbox.com/
Lootbox.
No, wait, loot crate. It's not lootbox.
Lootbox.
You can visit lootbox.com to get my old supply of Quaaludes.
Oh, and while you're buying the Quaaludes and while you're, not pirating things, you might as well be on a VPN. And if you're going to pick a VPN, you just got to go with NordVPN /Eric.
Did you know that those VPNs are really going out of business because their main source of income was people trying to evade IP restrictions on Netflix and stuff? And Netflix has found a way to bypass that, and without special hardware, you can't really fool Netflix anymore.
I thought you were going to say people were mainly using VPNs to download ROMs of N64 games, and now that they're streamable on the Nintendo Switch, the VPNs are all dying off. Oh, okay. So they've got another few months. I
love recording the Tempcast while somebody's mowing the lawn literally right next to me. So
why stop recording outside then?
I'm inside, as you can see from my display, and also my I can hear you guys really crisply through my Raycon ear.
I'd kill you if you actually used Raycon.
Why? Why do you hate Ray J? He was famous for that video.
Best comeback story.
Ew. I just want to go back. I think it was really shitty that Eric didn't know who made Banjo-Kazooie, because I think video game developers getting proper credit for their work is very, very important. And I would be pissed off if there were any sort of controversy surrounding the credits in any video game, especially one that came out last week.
Me too. Before we get to that, I just want to acknowledge everybody who has put this Tempcast together. Eric Xander, the host.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is the host.
Jordan, our special guest.
Special guest, Jordan.
Krista, who pays for our Tempcast studio that we're all in with,
Sure.
And Steven's friends for listening.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Big shout out to them.
Big shout out. And everybody else, thank you.
Okay, Alan, you were going to talk about Metroid Dread.
Thank you, Eric Xander, for the beautiful, beautiful segue, or whatever the fuck that was, honestly. I just like being validated, when somebody mentions, hey, it's the Alan John from the Tempcast. That's nice. But the thing is, not everybody is as lucky as I am. Sometimes people put in their heart and soul into something, and then they're not credited at all. Like with this very sad story with Metroid Dread.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so basically, let me open up the article so I don't mispronounce anything. So basically, hackers have cracked open a Sega Saturn emulator. Okay, this is the wrong thing. Okay, so this guy named Roberto, he's a 3D artist who worked on Metroid Dread for 8 months, it seemed, and he wasn't in the credits at all. And so this is an Ars Technica article I'm reading right now.
Okay.
What they're saying, this happens like a lot in different companies, especially in gaming companies, where people like developers who just did like their job not for the entirety of the production cycle were just completely left out of the credits. And I don't know what you guys think. I think that is a scummy move. Like, okay, first of all, nobody watches the credits. Let's be honest. When you finish a game, do you read every single credit thing? Sakamoto, he did the art on Metroid. Okay. This guy, Tina Fey made the sound design for. Okay, that's interesting. No, you don't.
Unless it's an Assassin's Creed game, I always read all of them at the end of that.
Why?
It's only about 30 to 40 minutes long.
Okay, so that's actually a good example. So I suppose they actually put every single person who actually worked on the game in that list. So you could do the same thing for Metroid Dread. It's not like after I finished Metroid Dread, 100% completed it, by the way.
Nice.
It's not like I was, fuck these credits, fuck these people. Oh, this is too long. Oh, I wish this was like 25% shorter. No, nobody cares. But it matters a lot to the developers. Why? Because then you can put that shit on your LinkedIn. You can put that stuff in your portfolio. Like, hey, I worked on the game of the year. I did sound design for that. Hey, that's cool. That's great opportunities for a developer, right? But they just completely left. From what I understand, Mercury Steam has this stupid notion where if you've only worked on a game for 25% of its production, then you're not going to get credited. That is so stupid and idiotic. Okay, there's multiple components that go into a game, right? If I'm a sound designer and I'm working on the pew 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 sound that Samus makes, right? That takes me like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear that sound effect during the entire duration of the game. But since I only worked only 8 months on that pew 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 thing, I'm not going to get credited for something that you literally see in the game the entire damn time. That's insane. This is so stupid. I don't know. I'm just so angry at this. I don't know what else to add.
Yeah, it's really stupid. I don't know what Mercury Steam, but the benefit is to them to not doing it, other than, I mean, I guess slightly less like work in terms of keeping track of everyone and putting them in the credits and shit. But I'm sure they're on top of that. I'm sure they know who worked for them.
That's not like an issue. That's not.
No, exactly. But that's what I'm saying is I'm stretching to that's the closest thing to an actual benefit I can see, because I don't know why they wouldn't just credit everyone.
Yeah.
And like you said, exactly, it doesn't matter to the player. It really only matters to the player, to the worker that's kind of getting screwed over.
This is like, imagine I make the final episode of the Tempcast, and I'm like, I want to thank Alexander, myself, Jordan, and also, of course, Krista.
I'm pretty sure I just did that earlier when I started this. I credited everybody except for you two.
Oh my god, that was that?
Were you not paying attention?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I made the joke.
Wow, we all Alexander today at one point or another.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm just so mad at this thing. Like, I can imagine myself working. Like, this game took 4 years to make, right? So if you worked an entire year on it, but then you just left for another project or something because your job was done or whatever, right? Then you wouldn't get any credits. That sucks. That sucks.
That's pretty f***ed up, yeah. I don't really have anything to add beyond that, except that it sucks shit.
Do you think it's possible if I could just put my name, not my name, but if I go into my LinkedIn and I just write that I made I worked on Metroid Dread. Would anybody check that? Would anybody?
Would they go check the credits?
Yeah, it's not like somebody would go finish Metroid Dread and then look at the credits and then just wait. Okay, is this Alan John? No, that's not. That's I don't see him. I don't see him.
I mean, people lie on their resume all the time.
Yeah.
So you could do it probably.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Wait. Is that illegal though? Eric.
What? I said,
What is this, like copyright law or something? Is this a felony if I lie on my resume?
if you lie on your resume, it's just stupid.
But it's not illegal.
Wait, it depends. Hold on. I don't know the answer. I've never. The people in my state are so ethical that they would never lie on their resume, so I've never had to encounter that charge.
Wow, that's fucking beautiful, man. What a lovely world to live in. Are we talking about the two bits of emulator news this week? Sorry, you were about to transition to one of them, weren't you?
No. I'm
Okay.
not that good. Thank you, by the way, for transitioning into them.
You can be sued for lying on your resume.
You can? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucked up.
They could sue you for fraud.
Can you be sued for not putting someone in the credits of Metroid Dread?
Probably.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, can I get sued for not putting somebody in the credits for Metroid Dread? Probably not. No.
Roberto,
That's fair.
he needs to sue Alexander. I think that's what he needs to do right now to get his name back in the credits or something.
I encourage that.
Hey, you know what I love more than people using their lawnmower when I'm recording?
What?
Is people then using a leaf blower behind me while I'm recording. You hear that leaf blower? I'm sorry, everybody.
You know what I hate even more than that? When people use an emulator to play a game that just came out and people need to buy, like Metroid Dread on the Yuzu emulator, which Kotaku said themselves works perfectly
that was weird
fine.
of them.
That was so
But
weird.
we said it before they said it. We
Yes.
broke that story before Kotaku did.
But we're GBA Temp. We're not the Washington Post.
Is Kotaku the Washington Post of video games?
Yeah, I guess. I guess you could say that. Yeah, it's mainstream. It's more mainstream than we think.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sharing,
I'll buy that.
Sharing that kind of news. Although I am a proponent of emulation and stuff, that's definitely like not a smart move, especially when you're a mainstream company like Kotaku, and Nintendo is notorious for not being a fan of emulation. I've noticed.
It's a very strange move on Kotaku's part, yeah.
It is. But speaking of Yuzu, it just got even better, especially if you're on Vulkan and AMD. Go check it out, the latest update, the latest stable release. It's not the beta, it's the stable. Check it out. I did not read the changelog because even if I did, I wouldn't understand most of it. It's gotten better. They fixed some issues. So if you had some issues previously, go download the new version and test it out. Yeah, Yuzu emulator. Shout out to Yuzu. Speaking of emulators, there's also more emulator news. Hackers have cracked open a Sega Saturn emulator inside a commercial Switch release. This is not from Kotaku. Oh, is it? No, this is from Nintendo Life. What grounds are we on with Nintendo Life? Are they our friends or are they our rivals?
They're cool.
Okay. So Cotton 2 and Cotton Boomerang and Guardian Force, these are games that have been released on the Switch, seem to contain Sega Saturn emulators in them. That's actually cool. So the hackers have been able to crack it open and just input their own Sega Saturn games, and they work.
Huh. So is there a history of people being able to crack that kind of emulator and then use it as a standalone thing for running Sega Saturn games, you know, that aren't Catan 2 or whatever you said?
Let me read the article.
Okay. Cut this shit out.
I don't know. Okay, I might be wrong. They probably didn't. They probably haven't tested it out with different Saturn games, but it seems that this is an in-house developed emulator.
Right.
So this isn't like something open source.
Right.
Huh. And I don't know if because I know that the Mario Sunshine, the entire Mario collection, the 3D Anniversary collection on the Switch runs emulated. So
yeah.
There are like closed source emulators on the Switch. You could definitely manipulate that, but at the same time, if you're going so far as to manipulate those games and hack them, why not just install RetroArch?
Yeah. I'm wondering, is there a good like Sega Saturn core on the RetroArch? Like,
that's a good idea. That's a good question. I don't know.
God, there's so much fucking Googling this episode. Yeah, no. Apparently, the Switch cannot run. There's a core called Beetle Saturn, but the Switch cannot run it.
Oh, so this might be a useful tool for those Sega Saturn gamers out there, all 5 of them.
Who love the Sega Saturn?
Steven, what's your favorite Sega Saturn game?
Oh, man. Was Sonic Adventure 2 on the Saturn.
That was a Dreamcast game. That's not even close.
Was Echo the Dolphin on the Saturn?
It was definitely on Dreamcast, but I don't think it was a
Saturn game. What about Halo Wars?
Halo Wars. Let me. No, it's not. It's not actually.
Tomb Raider was though.
Toomba?
Are you thinking of like exclusives?
My favorite Sega Saturn game isn't an exclusive. It's Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So I don't know.
I'm gonna say Shenmue. I never played it, but it seems pretty cool.
Shenmue was Dreamcast as well. You're pretty bad at
what?
This.
Wow, you're really dumb.
You could have said something like Virtua Fighter.
I mean, I can name a bunch off the top of my head. Castlevania is one, Nights into Dreams, Resident Evil, Sonic 3D Blast, Guardian Hero, Sonic R, Saturn, Bomberman, Quake, Virtua Fighter 2, Virtua Fighter 1, in fact, as well.
Ooh. Yeah.
Sonic Jam, Shining Force 3, Dead or Alive. Oh, I guess Dead or Alive was on it, huh? Oh, that was before it got different. Okay. I mean, I knew that. I didn't. You guys have been Googling all episode.
No, we didn't. We cut that out.
Oh. You guys look very prepared.
We are. We're prepared as shit.
I'm definitely an Albert Odyssey type of guy. Albert Odyssey, Legend of the
So
LD.
much better than Super Mario Odyssey.
It's a lot better. It's like it's a traditional RPG with an overhead perspective and combat based around the selecting of character actions from menus. That's what it says. That's what I remember. Oh, fuck. It was originally made for the Super NES. God damn it. This isn't an exclusive. This is just like a remake. Damn it. Speaking of
a remake, we should remake the last 20 minutes of this episode.
We should, but we won't.
We talked about everything. We're done.
We're done. Get out of here. What are you still listening to this?
Speaking of that, bye.
Good night. We're waving our hands, but you can't see it.
I like how we're all waving, but they can't see us.